Live.
Welcome back to my live, guys. Welcome back. I am your dear chef, Walker Barrett. Thank you so much for passing by, stopping in, and for those of you who intend to stay in, thank you so much for staying in. Today's dinner is all about one of my favorite Jamaican comfort food. As a matter of fact, two. So for the entree, I feel like mixing everything together, and so I'm going to be making a seasoned rice. What does seasoned rice mean to you in your neck of the woods? If you're Jamaican, how do you make seasoned rice? Now, as a child, my mother made seasoned rice with whatever was available, so it was always a surprise of deliciousness. So today, I am making one of my favorite childhood memory as it relates to seasoned rice, and I'm making it with shrimp. Now, where I'm from, we used to go fishing in the river, my sister and we would catch shrimp in basket. And other than on a Sunday, that was the only time we would have eat rice, because my sister and I, we would come back with the shrimp and we make shrimp seasoned rice. So that is my inspiration today. Of course, I'm going to add a little bit more than I would when I was a child to it, because in my house, my family must eat their full serving of vegetable. So we're going to add that, and then we're going to add some other good stuff like sausage.
Kelly says, love you. Island Girl says, when is the next Street Food Saturdays?
Oh, I will announce it. With all what is going on, we're going to meet with the team and see when is the best time to have it again. But we will keep you guys posted. So, seasoned rice is getting a moment. I'm so happy to share it with you. And of course, we have to make a dessert. So we're going to be locked down for another 2 days. You know, lockdown or not, in this house we must eat, and we eat fresh all the time. And I want to share it with you so that you can make food very simple for your family. So again, another Jamaican thing, my mother makes this usually on a Sunday. She used to make it and sell it at the school gate, ToTo. Now my mother made ToTo with whatever. So if she made pumpkin juice and the squeeze out from the pumpkin juice, it was going to make a ToTo. Same thing if she made carrot juice. And of course, the coconut from Sunday, she used it to make ToTo. So paying homage to my mommy today, I'm going to be showing you how simple it is to make ToTo. So I have a couple things in here. I have an empty bowl. So I'm going to be adding some dry ingredients. This ToTo recipe and tutorial is, I think it's the third video we did on our YouTube channel, Nextinfood, when we started it. So you can go over to Nextinfood if you want this recipe and if you want to see a more detailed tutorial on how to make ToTo. So I'm adding my flour into my larger container.
Gavina says, hi, evening everyone.
Hi, Gavina. And in here, I added some salt to taste and some baking powder. I must tell you guys, I always add a little baking soda to my ToTo, but I don't have any today, so I'm just using baking powder. Baking soda and baking powder can work together, but baking soda is very stronger than, way stronger than baking powder. So I use like half a teaspoon and it gives me the texture that I like. Anyhow, flour, baking powder is all mixed in. So this completes our dry ingredients. So for our wet ingredient, I'm just going to move this out the way. In this container, I have 2 cups of coconut milk and 2 eggs. I'm just going to whisk everything together. Is it 2 cups of coconut milk? No, 1 cup of coconut milk, sorry, and 2 eggs. So I'm just going to combine using a whisk. If you don't have a whisk, you can use a fork and just kind of whisk it together. So as usual, guys, tell me where you're watching from. Let me just turn my oven on.
McPherson's Catering says, good evening, chef and family.
Good evening. So I want to whisk this egg until it is nicely mixed with coconut milk. I'm using coconut milk because this is what we would use as a child, and besides, I am becoming very lactose intolerant, so I'm staying away from mammal milk as much as possible. So coconut milk gives it that nice coconut vibe that I like.
Cheryl Jenkins, hi.
Hi Cheryl. Okay, so I think this is fairly mixed. So now,
Bugs says hi, chef and family. This is Diana.
hi Diana, welcome. So I'm going to add some sweetness to my ToTo. So we have flour and baking powder. Oh, and I didn't tell you about the nutmeg and the little tubes of cinnamon. This is all mixed into this bowl. Now I'm going to add some sugar for sweet and some salt to taste. It's very important to add salt when you're baking. Salt brings the flavor together. So
Curvaceous Moody Butts says good evening. You're watching from Riverton Meadows, Kingston 11.
hi Curvaceous. Hi, thank you so much for watching.
Curvaceous Moody Butts.
Curvaceous. Thank you so much. Alright, so we have our sugar in there for sweet, and we're only using 1 cup of brown sugar. Now we're going to add all the wet stuff to the dry. This is very simple. You can make this very, very simple. So this is 2 cups of coconut. So this is coconut that I grate. Okay, and so I'm just going to add this in. So it still have the coconut flavor in it. 2 cups of coconut goes in.
Georgie is watching from West Virginia.
Hi Georgie.
Jacqueline.
Our 1 cup of milk, coconut milk.
Jacqueline says hi, chef and family.
Hi. And I'm using half a cup of melted butter. So that is that. We're just going to put these
Trini.
aside.
Trini says good night, chef, and everyone on the live.
Hi Trini, welcome. Oh, and by the way, I went straight to cooking and I did not even welcome everybody. So welcome to those watching on Instagram and also to those looking in on Facebook. Thank you so much for sharing my Sunday with me, your Sunday with me. I really appreciate it. So this is what the batter looks like. So I want to give you a close-up. So just a close-up. The ToTo batter should be fairly runny, and I love it with lots and lots and lots of coconut. Look at that. It's nice and runny. It's almost like a pancake batter. And as a matter of fact, we could have used this to make a pancake, but that's just a whole nother vibe. So this is going to go into my little pan. So my pan is nice and greased, and I lined it with a piece of paper. And I'm going to just pour the batter into my pan. I love making ToTo in a square pan. ToTo reminds me of the American brownie, so that's what, you know, I really prefer to have a ToTo versus a brownie. And so I always like to put it into a square pan so I can cut it into little squares. And we're just going to pour it in. The texture of a ToTo, in my opinion, is between, like, it's a cross between a cake and a pudding. It's a little bit dense, and that's how I like it, because all of that coconut. I feel like most Jamaican households have their own recipe. This is mine, and this is inspired by how my mother would bake it when I was a child, and how I now make it for my family. So that is done. We're going to take these off and put them in the sink. And the oven has been preheated at 350, and we're going to bake this for 30 to 40 minutes. So I'm going to start out at 30 minutes and see where it takes us. So take one last look before it goes into the oven. Alright. Just to make sure that we're on the right temperature, we're good, and we're at 30 minutes. So alright, so it's time now to make our entree. And our entree, everything is going to cook in one pot tonight. And this is
Jermaine says looking great.
Hi Jermaine, thank you. So first thing first, in my little rondeau here, I am going to be sauteing some sausage. All right, so this is some chorizo sausage. This is something my son likes, and so I'm just going to add this in for him. So we just slice it very regular. What I'm going to do is that we're going to brown it and then remove it, and then we're going to cook the other stuff. So I just want my fire to get a little bit hot. As a matter of fact, let me use the other stove for this. It's coming in with the gas. Right? I'm going to turn this one off for now. Put it back out. Want it to go a little bit faster, so we're using the gas. Okay, so in goes our chorizo, and right away we're hearing that sear. And so you guys can get a little close up on the chorizo. Chorizo is a pork sausage, and this is, you have two types of chorizo. You have Spanish style chorizo that has way more paprika in it, so it is more red in color, and you also have Mexican style chorizo. However, this is Jamaican style chorizo. I mean, it's alright, but if you've really had a good chorizo, you know, then you would know. But this is what we can get. And so this is a local variety of chorizo. You can use whatever sausage you like, and this is how I am with cooking. I like to use the ingredients that I have, or the ingredients that I like to eat to make a total new dish whenever I'm ready. This is going to add some nice, strong, savory notes to our finished seasoned rice. So we want to sear them up. Let's check on the file. So while we wait on this, guys, you have to now talk to me. Tell me where you're watching from, so that we can have a little conversation while we cook. Alright, so while that is browning, I am going to show you the other ingredients. So, this is my rice. I'm just using 1.5 cup of rice. This is basmati rice. I like to soak it before. I find out when you soak it for between 10 and 20 minutes, the volume of the finished rice looks so much more to me, so I always soak it. So rice, I soak it and drain it.
Cheryl says, I'm in Maryland.
Hi, Cheryl.
Stuart says, hello from Charlotte, NC.
Alright, so we have Maryland and we have Charlotte, or Charlotte. Is it Charlotte, like the onion? And I think that's not North Carolina. So get another close-up. We're getting some color very quickly. And color means flavor. All this thing is splashing all over me tonight. See that? So, at this time, I said I was going to take it out, but I think I'm just going to leave it in. What do you think? Take it out and add it in later? I'm asking my children. Alright, so we're going to take it out and add it back later. We don't want to.
Gorgeous is what is. Carlton from Avon, Indiana.
So we have Indiana watching. Welcome.
Georgima said to leave it in.
Leave it in. The both came in already from the children. They like it crisp, so they say take it out. So I'm taking it out.
Stuart says yes. Lowell, North Carolina. Sorry.
Okay, so now we are going to add our flavor builders. I'm going to add some chopped onions. Come on, why are you chopping like this? Let's see. Okay, I want to turn this down, guys. Bear with me, bear with me. Okay, so let's turn it down, so we're good. All right, so I want you guys to be right in the action tonight. So seasoned rice in Jamaica, in where I am from, lots of flavor. Like this rice don't eat with no gravy. You just pack a lot of flavor in, and this is how my mother makes it. A whole lot of flavor.
Tyler says, good night, chef, looking gorgeous.
Thank you. The only difference is that my mother would not saute the seasoning first. She would just put everything in there, but it was still delicious. But I find that when you sweat or saute the seasoning first, you get a better taste. So
Ash
now
Posh says take it out because it's seared early, so the flavor is there.
yeah, so it's out. So now I'm adding in some green beans. Remember I tell you we like to eat our vegetables in this house. So now I think I turned it down too much, so I'm turning it back up a little. All right, great. So we're layering the flavors. So the simple steps that you take when you're making food can change the end result in your favor. So these simple steps will make it taste so much better. So it would taste good if you just throw everything in the pot, but because you are searing and sauteing, you're coaxing the flavors out, you are going to have an edge as it relates to flavor. So more flavor will be in there. Now, bell peppers and tomatoes. I love the acidity of tomatoes, so I put tomatoes in a lot of the dishes that I make. And again, we want to just mix it in. And so look at this. This is the amount of rice and this is the amount of vegetable. You see how the ratio is? We want it to be very, very balanced. I'm using basmati. If you are not very confident at cooking rice, I will suggest that you use a parboiled rice. The parboiled rice is a rice that you can't spoil so easily. What the hell is that? Now I'm adding some scotch bonnet and some dried thyme. So that's going to go in because again, we kind of like things spicy in this house. So don't stay silent now, guys. Let me know where you are watching from.
Renee says also the tomato adds color to the dish.
Yes. So, but Renee, I'm not one of those chefs who just cook for color. I love flavors. And so when I'm conceptualizing a dish, I think about how all the flavors combine. So definitely the tomatoes add the color, but it also brings an awesome flavor of acidity that I like. And if I cook it long enough, the tomato actually becomes sweet.
Ash Posh is watching from Kingston, Jamaica.
Hello Ash Posh, welcome, welcome, welcome to our live.
Jenny Mason, good evening, cuz.
Hi Jenny, thank you for stopping in. So guys, at this point, I'm going to add some of my house-made all-purpose seasoning. Let me tell you what this is. All it is garlic powder, black pepper, and salt. So I'm just going to add some of that in, just season up everything. And this is smelling lovely. So if you're a vegan and you're watching and you want to make seasoned rice, you can do it this way. I would have just thrown some mushrooms in because I love mushrooms. But whatever vegetables you like can be put into your rice dish. So now we are going to be adding these ingredients. I love this stuff. My family love it. You know what this is? This is dried shrimp. In Jamaica we call it pepper shrimp. That little dry one that you buy at the checkout counter at the gas station. This is what that is. This is strong stuff. So I'm just going to add about 2 tablespoons.
Ellis is watching from Willie Nestate.
Hi Ellis, thank you so much for watching.
Courtney Barrett says that's a gorgeous amount of seasoning. Just a generous, sorry.
Oh yes, when you're cooking, Courtney, whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. So we love flavor, so we pack it in at the beginning. So now we still have a little bit more seasoning to add. This is some blend up seasoning that I had in the fridge, and this is just more onion and scallion and garlic. So we just add it in there and we saute.
Dana says my mom used to add ackee when I was growing up.
Yes, I noticed that most Jamaicans use saltfish, cock soup, and ackee to make seasoned rice, but my mother was not like that. She extra like wow, because we lived on a farm. My father planted everything that we eat, so you always have a bounty of stuff to add. So now I'm going to add some frozen vegetables.
Jacqueline is watching from Portmore.
Hi Jacqueline. And I'm going to add the rice at this point.
Dawkins says how you get the shrimp so fine.
Oh, I chopped it up in my spice grinder. They're already tiny and I just put it in the spice grinder and I chopped it up. This is something that a friend of mine introduced me to. This is this. It is like a little savory seasoning. It adds some color. And I'm adding that in because we want the finished rice to have a yellow color. Now, if you don't have that Goya Sazan seasoning, you can add some dried turmeric or some curry powder.
Cheryl says that was so good.
And we're mixing it in, mixing it in, mixing it in. And now, I want to taste everything to just make sure that I have enough salt.
Capricorn Boy says Sazan is the bomb.
I'm adding just a little bit more of my house-made seasoning. Make sure. Right, Sazan. I'm just being introduced to this, you know.
Capricorn Boy says it works well on fried chicken.
Yes, a friend of mine who fries chicken introduced it to me. Big up yourself, Sophie, Old Style Cafe up there in Poughkeepsie, 130 Cherry Street, South Cherry Street, New York. She introduced me to this beautiful Sazan. I thank you so much. Look at that. And look at this. This is 1.5 cup of rice, guys. So this stage, I am frying the rice really. And this method here is called the peel-off method. When you add the rice to fat and you allow it to toast up, this is called a peel-off method. So it's the method of cooking the rice.
Brody Wholesale Liquor says love your food.
Thank you so much. So at this stage, I am going to be adding some water. And I promise you that I'll be using shrimp. My shrimp, they're already blanched. And this is because I did this for a different preparation. So I'm just going to add this in later. If the shrimps were raw, I would have sauteed them in when I was doing the seasoning.
Jenny Mason, looking nice.
Thank you. So now we're adding 1.5 cup
Ashana says tastes good.
of water. And again, at this point, again, I need to taste just to make sure. Don't worry, I said this was salt and garlic and pepper. It's not equal part of salt and garlic and pepper. So don't think I'm going to be salting my dinner. So now we are going to cover. Where is that pot cover? Okay. We are going to cover this and let it cook halfway. It's a little bit lean, but. And then now, guys, we will add our shrimp. So I'm going to put it off to the side and we're going to come back to it.
Georgie says, can you please run through the green ingredients, and also you mentioned something about gestation. I missed that part.
Okay, so the green ingredients, is it this that you're referring to? This is what we call in Jamaica blend up seasoning. So you take fresh seasoning, and by seasoning I mean garlic, scallion, thyme, ginger if you like, and pimento, and you put it into your blender with some oil or a little water and you blend it. But I prefer to do it in my food processor, that way I don't need to add any water to it. And I usually have this in a clean jar in my fridge so that whenever I need to season some meat or add some quick flavor to food, I have it available. As it relates to this is pepper shrimp. There are two types of pepper shrimp in Jamaica. You have the fresh, obvious shrimp like this that they cook in almost like a pepper sauna, and you buy this from the vendors. But then you have these little ones. They're really krills, but we call them shrimp. They're dried and they're tiny. We usually snack on them, and I see them a lot at the checkout counter, like when you're trying to check out at the gas station or at the supermarket. And this is dried pepper shrimp. So that's what that was. And we add that and we use it just like a seasoning. So we have some other flavors to put in. So we have some more scallions to add close to the end. And I was talking about our shrimp. So these shrimp, they were boiled, they're head on. And this is what, if you can get a close up, this is what they look like. I am going to put some seasoning on them because they're a little bland tasting. So come on guys, close up for the shrimp. So these are shell on, head on shrimp. And these were already boiled. I tell you a story. They went into the water and I realized that it was more than I need. So I took out some. And this has been in my freezer for a while. And so I'm using it today to make our seasoned rice. So you can use whatever shrimp you like or have. All right, I'm just showing you how I make it with the ingredients that I have. So that's going to be added back. Let me check on our rice, because contrary to what we believe, rice don't take a long time to cook. Let me turn it down because I don't want it to burn.
Kimberly Taylor says they're in community bars as well.
Oh, there you go. Thanks for that, Kimberly. So now, come back guys, let us see what the rice is looking like. It's now a great time to add the shrimp. Look at that. And again, this is basmati. There's still liquid down there, so that is enough to cook it. So now we're going to just arrange, well, just throw the shrimp on top. And the liquid is going to create some steam, and the steam is going to heat through the shrimp. And then when we come back, we are going to put our dinner all together. Soon come back. All right, in the meantime, I'll check on my ToTo. So guys, talk to me. How are you coping during the lockdown? I think this is something we have to do collectively as a nation. We are in a crisis, so whether you want to accept it or not, that is our reality. I know firsthand that our hospitals, if you think about it, we have the same old hospitals. I am way over 40. We have the same two general hospitals, and then we have a few newer ones like Mandeville, and then we have some in other parishes. Our hospitals are always full. Our nurses, they're always working very hard, and our doctors. So now that we're having a crisis, it's going to be even more excessive on everybody, patients, doctors, and nurses. So let us comply and do what we can to limit the spread of this virus. Let us just be each other keeper, follow the protocols, stay home if you must, and just be cognizant. All right, some of us immune system is strong and you can fight it off. And so if you have not taken the vaccine, you can consider to take the vaccine. I hear that it doesn't prevent you from getting the COVID, but it will allow you to fight it. I'm not a doctor, but it's your choice. But either ways, we have to be safe. we are a nation that is not new to vaccine. We take a lot of vaccine. For those of you who go to college and when you were to have to travel to go to college abroad or in Jamaica, there's a bag of vaccine that you must take if you didn't get them when you were a child. So I know it is new, but pray about it now and see. But let us also be responsible. In the meantime, it's not only a prime minister issue or the health minister issue. It's not a rich people thing, it's not a poor people thing, it's an everybody thing. So let us do our part to make ourselves safe.
TK Dawkins says, thank God for the internet preventing us from going mad during the lockdown.
I know, but I know this is strange for some people, but I am a type of person, let me tell you, I can be alone with myself, having a conversation, creating recipes. My sisters will tell you I was always a loner. But for those of you who have more bubbling personality and don't like to be inside and this is weird for you, I can only imagine how very difficult it is. But I believe strongly that this too will pass. And it's going to take a while, but it is going to be a memory. I feel like when I'm older, when I have a grandchild, I'll be talking about this. If I survive it, but for now I'm trying my best to be safe with my family and of course with my friends, and I encourage you guys, do something, take this time to do something. I know it's very difficult, but we are in a very difficult time. So with that said,
Jenny Mason, I need some.
Gavina says pure sadness. Trini said, and medical students.
yes.
Jamzed said, when the next street food Saturdays?
Oh, John wants to change the subject. Oh, John,
Cheryl
I
Jenkins.
don't even know. Hi, Cheryl.
Cheryl Jenkins said, well said, Simone, thanks.
Ash
Thank you,
Posh
Cheryl.
says it's a nation thing.
It is. I must tell you guys, sometimes when I go on, sometimes I stay off Facebook because I feel like Facebook is a place where, everybody have a PhD and everybody is so negative out there sometimes, and so we have to remember our civic pride as a nation. We have a part to play. Let us not just bash our country. This is our home. Our country will never reject us. We are not perfect, and remember, we don't print our own money, so we can't just fully lock down, but we have to do something because we rely so much on imports. Our economy is weak. And I don't know any country that everybody have the same way of life. The richest country I've been to is Dubai, and I see poor people there. Everybody there is not rich. And so let us just do our part. There's poor people everywhere, but we still have a responsibility. I never feel poor as a child. I grew up on a farm in a rural community. I love it. I love it so much. We have a river. I swim in the river. I always feel like a rich, I almost say a rich bitch, but a rich person. but guys, just feel better. It is difficult. So,
Georgie,
somebody asked about Street Food Saturdays. This pandemic have severely affect Street Food Saturdays in two ways, in a negative way and in a positive way. In a positive way, in that we have good loyal customers that rely or demand or request our service. We can do takeout, we have done it. And then in the negative way is where we have to follow the strict COVID-19 guidelines, the Risk Management Disaster Act that speaks to restaurant, because we're licensed as such, and so we have to only take 50% of our full capacity, and it's very, very, very difficult, and the uncertainty you have to put off, you don't know what to do, but I try to, just to be sensible about it. So, look, to answer your question, I will post and let you know if we will be having Street Food Saturdays this month, and we're just playing it by ear, like everybody is uncertain. So stay tuned to our page and you will know when we know.
Georgie says, thank you for saying this, Chef. Trini says, so true, great advice. Frankishma, if I said that wrong, I'm sorry, says, well said. Gabina says, people around me dying. Trini says, preach, Chef.
I don't want to preach. Yes, people around me dying too. I don't want to sound insensitive, you know. People have always died around me. I think, you know, we're on this earth, we are going to die. I think death is certain, but I have a lot of friends that have lost. I don't know if it is COVID. Some of them, yes, they said that. I don't know. I feel like everything is COVID these days. Everybody, as soon as you die, I'm afraid to feel sick. As soon as you're sick, you have COVID. But that's how it is. I know it will pass. And my condolences to all the persons who have lost a loved one, a friend, a colleague, a family to this very, very invisible virus, I like to say, but invisible or not, it is real. So
Ash Posh says the internet these days is so negative and depressing. Everyone have some foolishness to post.
yeah,
Ash Posh.
I try to surround myself on the internet with positive stuff. I love to listen to gospel music. I love to learn about stuff. So the internet is bad and the internet is good. Is what you let into your space. Remember, you control what you let into your space.
Ash
I
Posh.
feel like I just lost my gas, guys. So I'm doing all of this talking and my gas just ran out. Abby.
Ash Posh says where exactly is it held? Is it held? I love the setting.
Okay, Street Food Saturdays is located in West Rural St. Andrew. Alright, so I just did a quick fire change, guys. So my gas ran out, so we're back on the electric burner. So, Street Food Saturdays is in West Rural St. Andrew. And for those of you who are a little confused, yes, we are a restaurant. And yes, we choose to operate, to open to you once a month or twice a month. And since COVID is by reservation only, okay? It is a very casual dining experience. And it's also different and it is unique to us, and that is all intentional. What do I mean by that? At Street Food Saturdays, even though we operate as a restaurant, we serve very casual food that is cooked over wood fire and charcoal. I think they're coming for the shrimp. Will you just put the shrimp in the fridge, please? Let me just cover this, guys. Right, so I was saying that we cook over wood fire and charcoal. We cook the traditional way and we love it. It was intentional for us to do so. The oven went off, our ToTo is not ready, so we're going to give it 20 more minutes based on how it is looking. And so, when you come to Street Food Saturdays, we ask you to collect your food as is stated on your reservation confirmation. So we send you a very, very simple. Everything about us is very simple. It is very casual. It's about the product, which is the food, and the experience, which is dining in the river, and of course driving up to our beautiful community. We're not perfect. So if you come to Street Food Saturdays and you have a browse and you're not satisfied, if you see me, please feel free to speak to any of the staff. And if you're still not satisfied, send us a WhatsApp and we will correct the problem as best as we can. What we do love though is that we continue to satisfy 98% of our customers. So that is good. We will never ever please anybody. And because we're human beings, we do make mistakes. And so your positive feedback and your constructive criticism is always welcome, because we need that so that we can grow and so that we can know and so that we can do much better. So Street Food Saturdays continue to be a vibe. So remember now, when I send you that confirmation, it tells you that there's a 30-minute wait for your seafood. It is cooked to order. We tell you that you pick up your food at the food station. We do not have servers, we have cooks. And we will assist and serve, but when we ask you to pick your food up, don't be too mad. We're not a white tablecloth restaurant, okay guys? So this is just how we vibe, and we so thank you to support us and to continue to support us. I want to introduce you to our YouTube channel. It's called Nextinfood. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, go over there right now, and hit that little subscription button. Over there is where we post the live, is where I post tutorials on food that I like to eat, food that I like to make for my family, food that I like to cook, and I kind of do it in a teaching way because I love teaching and I love sharing, because I feel like the more I teach is the more I know. And so I am very appreciative of you guys on Facebook and on Instagram who come into my kitchen every Sunday to watch me make food for my family. Big up yourself. So the team and I will be speaking, and if we can, we will post the date and a menu, a very simple menu for September. So look out for that. And let us know your positive feedbacks and your constructive criticism so we can be much better at what we do. All right, where's this? Let's see where this rice is at. Enough talking. All right, close-up time. Look at that. I think I need a fork. The rice is ready. So now it's time to give it a mix. And if you are a seafood lover, trust me, you are going to love this. I think my fire is too high. Let me turn it down.
Tyler says we are appreciative of you too. I have certainly learned a lot and you have inspired me so much.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you so much. Guys, as content creators, as I always said, this is not if you're Jamaican, you understand. This is not a Ray live or a pasa. It's about sharing, and we need that with all what is going on. It's not about bringing down each other. It's all about sharing and upliftment, positive vibe at the Street Food Saturdays kitchen and in the Nextinfood kitchen, where we bring you dinners from around the world. And so I'm glad that you all learned something. So sausages going back in. And I'm just going to add a tiny amount of water. We like it a little bit wet, so I just added just a little bit of water just to make it wet.
Ash Posh says, I want to visit. I've always seen your page and say, wow, this is so different and enticing.
Yes, so we operate by reservation only. That is our control method. And so we ask persons to make a reservation. We put a reservation link in the bio at Nextinfood. Usually that is done between the 5th and the 10th of each month. However, we have to step back and we are just kind of reworking just to make sure that we can function at the end of the month, because COVID also affects us in two ways, and so we have to be careful.
I am
what we're doing.
Says, I subscribed to the YouTube channel earlier. You've been at it for hours. Aren't you tired, love?
No, I'm not tired. So this is my therapy. This is what keeps me safe. So when I get off, I'll clean up with my kids and I go and rest. But this is how I am. I'm committed. I am committed to the cause. So this is work for me, even though I'm not being paid yet. But I believe that if you put the work in, you will get the pay in the future. So people like you who come on and watch, people like you who go over and subscribe, people who comment and share and like our videos, one baby step at a time. It's not a sprint for us. You know, it is just nice and easy. It's more like a marathon where we're just taking it easy. So yes, I do get tired, but I'm committed and we thank you. Let me show you guys while I wait on this. This is basically done. We're gonna portion it out shortly.
Wyo Scott says, I'm so late. It's Jasmine. That looks tasty.
Oh no, this one is basmati.
Chelsea says, I enjoy watching every Sunday and I find it relaxing.
Oh, thank you, Chelsea. So guys, this is what our ToTo is looking like. It is almost ready. So I'm just going to turn my oven up so we can get a nice brown color on top. Facebook, this is what it looks like. YouTube, this is what it looks like. And Instagram, this is what it looks like, guys.
James Ed says, looks so good. Davina says, thank you too.
It is so good. So guys, can you believe, for those of you who have been on early, like Bless Chelsea, I know that name because she's almost always on. Who else is almost always on? Ashelia. Cheryl from Facebook is almost always on. Mark Ferkinson, a lot of you guys, Jenny Mason, so many. I don't want to start calling names, but some of the names are so familiar because I hear them every Sunday. Once from I started the YouTube channel, people go over and they subscribe and they tell their friends about it, and I'm really, really grateful for that. Thank you guys for making it relevant, and thank you for sharing my love of food with the people that you know. And so I encourage you to continue to share, and if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel Nextinfood, would you mind consider subscribing? We would greatly appreciate it. And when you go over, guys, and watch the videos, share the videos with somebody so that we can build up our community, we can build awareness. My aim for my YouTube channel is really to document Jamaican cuisine the way I know how to make it, because I find that sometimes, you know, people from other culture will try to make our food and they don't do it right, and then we're fussy. But as an educator, when I try to look for literature on Jamaican food, there are not many recipes out there for Jamaican cuisine, because we're not a culture that like to write down our recipe. We learn from our mom. We just learn it. We don't even know how we learn it. So now I'm sharing this so my grandchildren can hopefully come and they can see how to make a ToTo. They can see how to make seasoned rice. They can make a pudding, whatever the cuisine is to you. You can go on and hopefully you'll see a tutorial that will help you.
Georgie says, do you have suggestion of substitute for the shrimp?
Definitely. As I said earlier, I feel like most Jamaican household would make the seasoned rice with saltfish and ackee and your favorite brand of cock soup and some seasoning and even some mixed vegetables. So basically a seasoned rice for me, and this was introduced by my mother, is whatever you put in it, whatever you like. Sometimes I make it here with just cabbage. You should try making cabbage and rice together in a pot with a little pumpkin, no meat. It tastes absolutely good. So sometimes it was vegetarian, sometimes it was vegan, and sometimes it was carnivore because it was packed with little pieces of fried corn, pork, and everything. My mother even put callaloo in there. So anything you want to put in your one pot, it is up to you. The only thing that can limit you is your imagination. And I feel like every culture have a one pot, a rice dish. Trinidad have the pilau. Spain have the paella, Italy have risotto, and more. There's so many. I will go on, and of course Jamaica have seasoned rice that we love.
Cheryl says, you're making me so hungry and I had dinner already. I am Elliot says, we appreciate your passion. McPherson's Catering says, God bless you too. Go Magic Mirror says, this is my first time visiting. My first visit, very interesting, sir.
Oh, thank you for coming up on our page and, talking to us. So guys, close-up time. Close-up time.
Patricia Brown says, good evening, family.
Hello, my sister. Welcome. All right, so this is for you guys. Look at that. This is seasoned rice. This is inspired by my childhood. My sister Kenisha and I, we used to go to the river. Kenisha, are you watching? And we would catch shrimp and make seasoned rice. These nowadays, people, we don't have shrimp in the river anymore because the river is overfished and they, improper fishing because people don't think about sustainability. So we encourage the people in the community, do not poison the river because the marine life is very important to our ecosystem. I am over 40 years old, and over, let's say, 30 years ago, I was catching shrimp in the river. There is no more shrimp because of improper fishing method. So we have to really look at that as a people. It's not a government thing, it's a people thing, and we have to take care of our environment. So
I am Elite. So some African countries have jollof of rice. Haitian have all sorts of rice too, extra strong.
Oh yes. As I said, I could go on and on. That jollof rice is absolutely amazing.
Susie Clark, looking great.
Thank you, Susie.
Serena.
Not to mention this fried rice.
Serena.
We did fried rice a few weeks ago.
Serena Wally says, hi aunt. We're watching from Old James.
Hi, Serena. Welcome, my dear. So guys, I really, since we're all at home, I really want to stick around and show you what the ToTo is going to look like. It's going to be delicious. But this is our dinner. How easy is that? So it doesn't have to be fussy. I could have dissected this and we could have had shrimp one way, rice one way, and vegetable another way. But we decided to put it in one pot.
Patricia Brown.
It's comforting and it's delicious.
Patricia Brown says, yes, Kenisha is watching with me, sis.
Hey Ken, I'm talking about our childhood memory of fishing for shrimp in the river and making our seasoned rice, and it wasn't no dolly pot, it was good taste good food. So I feel like I was born to be a chef. I cannot do anything else but culinary, guys. This is my purpose. I'm living it and I love it. How many of you are actually living your purpose? If you're not, find your purpose, because when you live your purpose, you are very happy, you're very kind, you're very meek, but you're very firm.
Biryani.
So I hope you find your purpose.
Georgie says biryani also.
Oh yes, we made the Indian biryani. How do you pronounce it? We made it here on the live. I love it and love it and love it. I made it with lamb because the first time I had it, it was cooked with lamb. It is a beautiful rice dish, absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna grab something to take our ToTo out of the oven. I need something to put it on. Alright, so let us put our beautiful rice dish on a pedestal for you guys to see. Are you guys seeing any heat mat over there that we can put? Yeah. So this is gonna be for the ToTo.
McPherson's Catering says cooking and baking is my world.
Yeah. I actually started out baking. I went to culinary school and I did baking first. Baking is so scientifical, it is so specific. And then after baking for years, I decided that, you know what, I want to give baking a break. And then I went back to culinary school and I did culinary arts. And so now I can bake and I can also do the other aspect of culinary arts, which I love. As it relates to being a pastry chef, I hats off to the pastry chefs, especially the ones that, decorate beautiful cakes. I don't do that, but I can make every single icing there is, and I can do basic decoration, but I don't have the patience for that, that attention that designing a cake takes. So big up my friend Leisha Lynn Cook from Fallen Chocolate. I think she's living her passion, and she does beautiful cookie arts and she does beautiful cakes. People like Shauna K from Shauna K Pastries and more. People like Leon Sweet Tooth. People like Kate Couture. Those people they're artists. Those people are like the queen of designing. There are people like Cook Up Creations who I stumble up on their page the other day, and they have some beautiful cake art. And other persons who are doing their thing. Big up yourself. I love when people, show their craft and just kind of live their purpose and share. So big up to everybody who who's killing it, who is doing it, who is just doing what you love. All right. So guys, drum roll. I hear the door open, so Jacoby must be saying, "Oh, mommy, you think you're in a lecture? I'm hungry." So let me look at that dessert and stop the talking. Okay guys, looky here, looky. This is our coconut ToTo. Don't worry, I am a baker and a certified one too. A ToTo is a quick bread. if you notice how the method of making it is, it's very simple. We call it the two-stage method. And these are the cracks. These are signature to quick bread. You notice when you make a muffin or a banana bread, those are all quick bread. Usually it has a crack, so don't worry. This is good. And this is going to be delicious. So we'll post tomorrow when it's nice and cool. We're going to eat some while it's hot, and we're going to leave some for you to see. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Dinners from Around the World with me, your diva chef Simone Walker Barrett. Today we stayed in Jamaica, and I'm just inspired by everything that my mother made as a child for me and my sisters and my brothers. I love you, mommy. I love you, all my sisters, and my brother. Yes, Brian, I don't want to hear you say I didn't call your name. And my brother Andrew, and everybody. I love you guys, and thank you so much for staying in. And if you want to make this ToTo for your family, we have a recipe on our YouTube channel. It's called Nextinfood. If you're here and you have not yet subscribed, we ask you to consider subscribing. Share the live, share the videos when you watch it, leave a comment. We are going to eat our food, so I will see you next week, God's willing, and you be safe. Do not worry about things that you cannot readily fix. Just be safe, and I'll see you. Take care of your family and take care of you. Bye.